Hello everyone. Today we are discuss here transmission line protection. Under this section we will study about the overview of distance protection. So basically the probability of faults occurrence on the overhead lines is much more due to their greater length and exposure to atmospheric conditions. Basically the protective scheme we will use for alternators and transformers with slight modifications may also be employed for protection of feeders and transmission lines. These modifications are required because of length of lines, capacitance, currents, and the other regions. So, under this section, first we need to know about what is the main requirement of line protection. So, the main requirement of line protection are basically when a short circuit occurs in our transmission line, the circuit breakers nearest to the fault should open and all other circuit breakers remaining in a closed position. This is the one reason we will use for protection of transmission line. Another one is that if the breaker nearest to the fault fails to open, then the backup protection should be provided by the adjacent circuit breakers. And we can also show that we can also say that the relay operating time should be the smallest possible in order to preserve system stability but without necessary tripping of circuits. So these are the reasons. That's why we need to requirements of protection of transmission lines. So under this we will first study about what is basically distance protection. So under this distance protection we will learn here that first one thing is that what is distance protection. So distance protection is that means distance protection is basically as the name given to the protection whose action depends upon the distance of the feeding point to the fault point. The time of operation of such a protection is a function of the ratio of voltage and current, that is basically impedance. We all know that the ratio of voltage and current is impedance in AC circuit. This impedance between the relay and the fault depends upon the electrical distance between them. So that's why its name is distance protection. So there is one type of relay which functions depend upon the distance of fault in the line. More specifically, we can say that the relay operates depending upon the impedance between the point of fault and the point where relay is installed by using the calculation of ratio of voltage and current. I earlier said that distance protection is a basically non-unit type of protection. That means the protective zone for this distance protection is not exact. Distance protection schemes are commonly employed for providing the primary or main protection and backup protection. We will use this type of protection scheme for both for primary or for main protection or as well as for backup protection scheme. It can be employed in carrier added distance schemes and in auto reclosing schemes, and this protection scheme is very commonly used in protection of transmission line. And the most important fact about the distance relay or distance protection is that this type of relay are used where overcurrent relaying is too slow and is not so selective. So where we will also use this type of protection scheme. So now next one is our what is basically working principle of distance protection relay. So we will say that or we will understand like this. Distance relay basically not differ in principle from other forms of protection in that their performance is not governed by the magnitude of the current or the voltage in the protected circuit but rather than the ratio of these quantities. That means for distance protection relay we need to find out the ratio of these two quantities, not individually the voltage, not individually the value of current. Distance relay are actually double actuating quantity relays with one coil energized by voltage and the other coil is energized by current. The current element produces a positive or pickup torque while the voltage element produces a negative or reset torque. The relay operates only when the V upon I ratio, that means impedance, falls below a predetermined value or below the setup value of impedance. During a fault occurs on the transmission line, the fault current increases and the voltage at the fault point decreases. Then the ratio of V upon I is measured at the location of CTs, current transformers and potential transformer. The voltage at PT location depends on the distance between PT and the fault, and if the fault is nearer, measured voltage is lesser, and if the fault is farther or heavier, then the measured voltage is more. Hence, the assuming constant fault impedance, each value of V by I measured from relay location correspond to distance between relaying point and the fault along the line. Hence, due to this reason, we also known as this type of protection is the distance protection or impedance protection, because this type of relay is operate when the value of impedance, that means the value of voltage and current or ratio of voltage and current is differ from the predetermined value of the or setup value of the impedance. This value of voltage and current is find out by the CTs and PTs respectively. So this is the basically working principle, which is very common or very easy to understand. So now next one is, what is different type of faults which covered under the distance protection. So here we will categorize as a line fault. That means there are the primary side phase to phase or phase to earth fault. This type of fault is covered under the distance protection scheme. Another one is secondary side faults. That means it includes the broken conductors and VT fuse fails or another types of fault which occurs on the secondary side of the transmission line. Or another one is dead line charging. That means they are also called as switch on to fault. That means when the fault is occurs on the dead line side of the transmission line. So under this type of fault is also covered by the distance protection schemes. And another one is abnormal system condition. That means it covers the power swing on the transmission line due to some inductive load or due to some power changes due to load or due to sudden change of loads under the inductive load. So this type of faults is covered under the distance protection schemes, which is more easier or more selective or more fast than the overcurrent relay scheme. So now next one is the most important thing is what is application of distance protection relay. So application is that we will say that the distance protection schemes are widely employed for the protection of high voltage AC transmission lines and distribution lines. So they have replaced the overcurrent protection of the transmission line, as earlier I said, and the reasons are the faster protection, simpler coordination, simpler application, permanent setting without need for readjustment, less effect of amount of generation, and fault levels, fault current magnitude, permits the high line loading. These things are the beneficial thing which is not present in overcurrent relay, and here we will apply it in the distance protection scheme. So static distance relays have superior and versatile characteristics and several additional merits of static distance protection schemes. Basically, I already said that the distance protection schemes are basically employed for primary protection, that means main protection, as well as the backup protection, and it provides basically the faster protection as compared to overcurrent relay. Their fault current magnitude permits the high line loading, and these protection schemes is used as a primary or backup protection for AC transmission line under the disturbance against the phase to phase fault, three phase faults, and phase to ground fault. In some schemes for short lines, the phase to ground fault protection sensing may be by distance relay and measurement by the overcurrent relay, because distance protection for shorter lines are susceptible to errors due to arc fault resistance. So in general way, the choice of type of distance protection depends on the length of line, how much the length of our transmission line, tripping time required, how much we need to tripping time, and what is the coordination required. According these factors, we need to choose which type of distance relay we will use in our transmission system. So next topic is about that the different type of distance relay. So all of I think you all are aware that there are basically three types of distance relay, which is impedance relay, reactance relay, and admittance relay, or we can also show that the Moho relay. Now next one is what is the choice between impedance, reactance, and Moho type relay. Basically Today trend is towards the use of static distance protection for all types of line faults, main and backup for short, medium and long transmission lines. In general way, the choice of type of distance protection which is mostly depends on the length of line, tripping time required and the coordination requirements. In these factors are suitable for choice of type of distance protection. The choice between impedance type, reactance type and Maho type distance protection relay should be properly because with reference to their application to transmission line protection. So the first one is that the reactance type relay are basically preferred for ground fault relaying because of the ground resistance is variable and the ground distance relays must be unaffected by variation in the fault resistance. So this due to this reason reactance type relays are most preferable for ground fault relaying. For short line section, reactance type relays are preferred as they are not affected by the arc resistance and more percentage of the line can be protected at high speed. The only drawback of this type of relay is basically that they are likely to operate undesirably on severe synchronizing power swings at we can say that at certain locations unless additional relay equipment is provided. So drawback is that we need to an additional relay which is used for due to the fault occurrence due to the synchronizing power swing. So drawback is that we need a additional relay equipment in case of reactance relay. So now next one is what is Maho type relay is used. So this type of relay are best suited for phase fault relaying for long lines and particularly where a severe synchronizing power swing or surge may be occur. They are basically most sensitive of all the distance relays as compared to impedance and reactance relay. And this relay is, we can say that this relay will be most reliable because the reason is that it combines both the features, that is directional and distance measuring function in one unit. So this is the most reliable relay as compared to the impedance relay and reactance relay. And impedance relay is basically used for phase fault relaying for lines of moderate length, not high length, not length is low. This is used for medium length of transmission line, and the arc produced during the opening of circuit breakers affects the impedance relay more than that the reactance relay but lesser than the Maho relay. So the impedance relay is basically along with the directional unit can be made to change its characteristics and the modified impedance relay may resemble the reactance or Maho unit. So there is consideration or considerable overlap in the application of these relays. That means the operation of this relay is overlap. That means the features are common in some features are common in these types of relay, and these features can be different by using additionally directional unit or overcurrent relay unit in different types of distance relay, so that the common features will be discriminate between these type of relays. So the most important thing is that the choice is basically depends on the length of line, tripping time and coordination requirements, and we need to some modification on the basic type of these distance protection relay. We will study in next lecture this type of relays in detailed. So this is the overview of distance protection. What is distance protection, which type of relays we will use, what is the choices we need to consider about the impedance type relay, reactance type relay and Maho type relay, and which type of things we need to change its characteristics or we need to modify in this type of relay. So we find out the desired output as we required for protection of transmission line. So next lecture we will learn about the different type of relays. Under this lecture we will study about the constructions of the relays, operating principle, their characteristics, and what modification we will made on this basic type of relays. So thank you very much for watching these lectures, and I hope all of you are good.